Hawkeyes always need help at wide receiver, and they've got some serious help coming in 2024. Two really solid commitments here in the last month, one being Reese Vanderzee, an Iowa product, big X-type receiver, and now KJ Parker, a Chicago native. We'll talk about Parker's commitment, what he brings to the field, and why I'm higher on Parker than I am Vanderzee. We'll talk about it in just a second. But first, a reminder to check out Iowa Floor Covering. They're our sponsor for today's video. They've got a headquarters down in Bondurant, Iowa, and it is a great, great building. Visit them in person or check out their site online. Visit iowafloorcovering.com/DIY. Also, they've got this vinyl floor covering, this self-installation type of flooring. It's their Tough Core Click Together 4.5 millimeter flooring, and it's available at $269 per foot. Again, when you visit iowafloorcovering.com/DIY. We appreciate Iowa Floor Covering in Bondurant. So Iowa landing a commitment from KJ Parker, Elmhurst, Illinois native. That's Chicago area. And he is one of the many athletes that visited Iowa football back in late June on an official visit. And Iowa has done very well with that crop of athletes. KJ being added to the list. He's listed at 5'11", 170 pounds. He plays at a Catholic school kind of in suburban Chicago at Immaculate Conception High School in Elmhurst, and had a good offer list. I mean, Iowa, Cincinnati, Wisconsin was in on him and offered. Iowa State wanted Parker, and then had a plethora of really solid group of five offers. Northern Illinois, Toledo, Buffalo was in there, Ohio, Marshall also offered KJ Parker. Put up really good numbers his junior year, 37 receptions for over 1,000 yards, 1,082 yards to be exact, with 17 scores. He was named Conference Player of the Year and was an all-state receiver, also was a DB. I watch him on tape, and he does demonstrate excellent hands. I know size-wise, you may look at him and compare him to a guy like Tyrone Tracy. I think he may have a bit more explosiveness than Tyrone did, at least at that level. I did look up 100-meter times for both of these guys as kind of a comparison. And Tyrone Tracy, his personal record, his senior year of high school was, I believe, 11.31. And KJ Parker, the number I could find, his personal best was 11.3. Again, he's 1 year short of his final track result. So maybe he'll bring that down into the 11.2, 11.1 range, which would be solid. And for a guy who's 5'11", maybe he puts on another inch. I think he's got better hands than Tyrone Tracy, although Tyrone didn't start having issues with drops until later in his collegiate career that I can remember. But KJ seems to catch everything that comes his way. Has got a really good ability to change direction, but he does run like a receiver. Tyrone Tracy was being recruited, I think, primarily as a running back slash receiver coming out of high school. Ended up being a receiver at Iowa, played a little bit in the backfield when he transferred to Purdue. I think KJ Parker runs more like a receiver. They do have him running out of the Wildcat at times on tape. And he has shown on tape to blow by competition. Now, this level of competition, it's just hard to gauge speed. And when you look at track times, you see he's on par with other receivers Iowa has landed. But sometimes there is that extra gear that isn't always shown in a guy's 100-meter time. And you're not going to see a 40-yard dash time in high school. So can he block? That's a question at 5'11", $170. Probably going to have to add some pounds, no question about it. He's lined up primarily on the outside. Maybe they end up using him as a slot kid, but if he ends up at 6 foot, maybe he can be a game breaker. And that's what Iowa needs. They've got Caleb Brown coming in this year, of course. Seth Anderson is around the 6'1" range, could potentially be a type of a game breaker. Reese Vanderzee is not that guy. I mean, he is a guy who's going to be able to go up, climb up for a catch, and hopefully be a really solid red zone target. But KJ, a nice compliment. I think he is the better of the two receivers because of his explosiveness and his upside. And once he gets a little bigger, if he can block, he could be a really good one. And Iowa certainly needs help at receiver. And he was one of their top targets, at least guys that were still available in that 2024 class. Again, he turned down Cincinnati, Iowa State, Wisconsin. So some solid Power 5 programs. He'll come to Iowa and hopefully get a year with Cade McNamara. We'll see if Cade comes back in 2024, but he'll have an opportunity at wide receiver to play often and early, as it's probably the biggest position of struggle with this Iowa football program. Be sure, if you haven't already done so, to please hit that like button here from the Hawkeye of the Storm, folks. More videos coming here very soon as we count down the days to Big Ten Media Days and, of course, Iowa Media Day, Kids Day, Open Scrimmage in August. I'll be there for that, giving you reaction following that event and following Media Day. We'll have interviews with players. We'll continue to drop podcasts, live shows every Tuesday with the one and only Mark Rogers over on our sister channel, Iowa Football at the Voice of College Football. As it relates to KJ Parker, be sure to let me know what you thought of the commitment for Iowa. Give me your thoughts and comments below. Also, share this video out in social media. Any help is appreciated. You can donate to the cause here at From the Hawkeye of the Storm by clicking the links in the description below. And as always, please support our sponsors. I'll talk to you next time. Corey Bratta from the Hawkeye of the Storm.